What's up? Oh, that's the word. What's up? Finally, it's been baby steps with this Gameboy Megamachine this past since the last video, which was about 4 weeks ago. I don't know, but it's been a slow burner, this project, to say the least, and it's because I don't want to make any mistakes because it's just so mahoosive. So basically, what have I been working on? Well, last time you may have seen this patch bay that was built thanks to Frederick for syncing up, making a MIDI to LED converter. But basically what it is it's just a big USB keyboard that I'm able to select between, like, where I want the filters to be, where I want the VCAs to be. There's going to be two different effects. I think a flanger and maybe, I don't know, a flanger and a delay. I don't know, because they're similar circuits, maybe. But we'll see. But these are the outputs. So bus 1 could go to the flanger, and then to the blah-de-blah, and then to the blah-de-blah, and then go to the output and stuff. That's how that would work. So yeah, you can see it all lights up. Boom, boom. But, so basically, finally, one switch on here currently works. If I flick this one, I don't know whether you can hear that, but that's all the Game Boys on and off. I know it's not very impressive, but to do that, it's been a lot of work. So basically what's going on is you can't just use a patch bay or a single switch, because you have to be able to switch all 6. And the easiest way I found was sending MIDI out of this into other circuits to decode that, and use analog switches to switch on the signal routing things. It's an absolute ball ache. But over here, if you look here, you can see I've made some crudely. Here's a mixer. There's a mixer circuit that's going to be out. I think the oscillators are going to be the next ones out, but there's a mixer. But behind here, you can see there's these like different cards. And basically, what these are for each of the rows of the Game Boys. So there's the rows of the Game Boys. You follow it along, and it goes to the different cards here. It's a little dark, but what these are basically, you'll see over here, I'm building the ones for the top row of Game Boys. What's in here? So basically this is, I won't share the circuit right now because the circuit that I've got drawn up has got a fair few mistakes and changes that I've made. I'm going to be doing to each of the boards, which is an absolute pain. But basically what it is there's an Arduino, and then there's 8 outputs, because there's 8 separate patches. So basically each different one of these needs to accept input from 8 different sources. So if you want the filter 2, you can have it receiving signal from any of the above. So you can have it coming from bus blah blah blah. And the idea is basically it listens, each module listens to each of these 8 bus lines, and then opens them up when you flick the switch. It's a bit of a head fudge. So basically what's going on is there's op amps at the top, so it goes out. This is the bus, this is the signal, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is where this comes from, the bus lines. This is not making much sense. I need to work out how to explain this for the video this week. But the bus lines are there, and they go into op amps, which buffer the audio so it doesn't affect it wrongly. Then it goes into these 4066 analog switches, which are basically like solid state relays that only go one way but can go quick, nice and speedy. And then it comes out of that back into a op amp buffer, and then it goes to a mixer, which mixes all of the 8 rows, whether they're on or off or anything, so it doesn't affect it. And then it goes to an output, and then the output gets plugged in to a mixer, and then there'll be 2 mixers, left and right. And yeah, it's so because there's a left and right, there's 2 different outputs. It's an absolute head fudge. And I need to make smaller cards of these to fit onto the back of each of the analog modules. So after this, the next thing I'm working on, I'm going to be building the filters, and these are going to be basically copies of the Alpha Synthex module. It's going to have different adjustabilities, and it's going to be an absolute head fudge to figure out, but it'll be doable. And then that's going to be interesting. But hopefully, after I've built and designed all of these things, I'm going to make a single board 6 voice analog synth that can be in this kind of size. I don't know, it's quite silly. But I have a feeling I have not made much sense with this explanation of what I've been working on, and I need to find a way of making it more sensical. But right now I'm just going to finish the top one to get all 6 going with because they've never actually had jacks coming out of them. I've only had just wires all wound together from the back. It's quite nice to actually have proper outputs on them. And other things, constantly finding grounding issues in this thing because it's so big and there's so many different types of power going here and there and everywhere that there's just grounding everywhere. I've just found a good practice for this is just if you don't see a ground, if there isn't a ground inside, just connect everything ground, and I've just managed to remove so much noise from it and stuff. It's mad. I'm going to end on something last night when I finally got it working. I turned all of these pitches down and just made it sound like quite a crazy thing. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 24 Game Boys going in this video, but you can have a listen.